Welcome to the director's cut of Christian Nutrition, the show where we review every single episode of VeggieTales chronologically. And by we, I mean just me. Josh and the Big Wall is the follow-up episode to Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space. And by follow-up, I really do mean follow-up. They actually acknowledge Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space in a non-Veggieception kind of way. It was released in October of 1997, and by this time, VeggieTales was getting quite popular. Though they were still a few years away from having their videos appear in non-Christian bookstore locations. Now, as you may recall from the last episode, I kind of suspect Junior's gonna be Joshua only because VeggieTales likes to make me suffer. It's their thing.
I'm Bob the Tomato.
And I'm Junior Asparagus.
I don't know what to say anymore. I'm growing numb to the pain that this character inflicts upon me.
I bet you're wondering where Larry is.
He was a little tired after the last...
He was a little tired after the last show.
Hey, I was already explaining that, Bob.
He says there's a kid named Lewis in his class who hit him yesterday.
Oh my!
Oh my is right.
You can't be starting with Lewis and Clark, cause we cut a path through MCs like a walk in the park and give them back a whole stack of maps and accurate charts, showing exactly where our footprints on their buttocks are marked.
That does make sense. They are some sick MCs.
Close your eyes, Junior, and don't open them until I say so.
All right!
If this wasn't Bob, I would say leave those eyes open.
Okay.
Well, how did we get here?
We're using our imagination.
That is pretty awesome, but this isn't A Christmas Carol. Junior isn't Ebenezer Scrooge. He isn't even Scrooge McDuck. Bob explains to Junior that the Israelites were led out of Egypt by Moses, who for some reason is being played by Mr. Nezer, despite Larry having portrayed Moses previously. God had told them specifically what to do to get to the Promised Land, but the Israelites wanted to go their own way.
You can go your own way. You can go your own way. Joshua? Who's he?
Well, he was Moses' helper.
Wait, Larry has played both Moses and Joshua? Is he gonna play Jesus next? Oh, why not just be Paul while he's at it?
Do I know you?
I'm the narrator.
Oh.
This is a whole new level of fourth wall Veggieception. I love it. Bob says that it is finally time for the Israelites to leave the desert and go into the Promised Land.
We didn't have a lot of fun in the desert. We didn't have a lot of fun in the sand. Well, saddle up your cow and go behind us now, because we're going to the Promised Land.
How are these songs always so catchy? Who cares? It is time.
It'll be so great. Put waffles on my plate, because we're going to the Promised Land.
I hear it's flowing with milk and honey.
Sounds sticky.
Sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen.
We didn't have a lot of fun in the desert. We didn't have a lot of fun in the sand. So saddle up your cow and fall behind us now, because we're going to the Promised Land. For years I've eaten nothing but manna, a dish that is filling but bland. But we're on our way, I'll have a cheese souffle, cause we're going to the Promised Land.
Unfortunately, he overlooked one little detail. Jericho.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they can just ignore Jericho.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Laddie, the part of the show where Laddie comes out and sings a silly song.
Kind of early in the episode for this, but I'm not arguing.
This is a song about a boy. A song about a little boy and his saboos. A song about a little boy and his 3 saboos.
The little boy who had a sick Cebu, a sad Cebu, and a mute Cebu, and also a hippo.
Me at the airport. This is my Aunt Ruth. This is me at a bullfight. This is me fighting a bull.
This is definitely the most pointless silly song so far, and yet it's one of the most enjoyable.
I am Joshua, and these are the children of Israel.
Oh, hello, children.
Hi.
It was nice to meet you. Now go away.
Yes.
He's already got one, you see?
What? He says they've already got one. Are you sure he's got one?
Oh, yes, it's very nice, sir.
I told them we already got one.
Larry proceeds to tell the French how God has told him that Jericho is his and that they will need to leave. The French continue to taunt him and drop their slushies on them. They all fall back and regroup to come up with a plan of action.
This time, I really mean it. We should go back to Egypt.
Wait, what? Do you not remember Egypt at all?
Don't you remember? Snorkeling in the Nile, 3 square meals a day, plenty of exercise. Oh, it was paradise.
Ah yes, Pa has those nostalgia glasses on, along with 90% of the internet.
We were in slavery.
Nothing is perfect.
Larry then proceeds to go out on his own to get in some serious prayer time when God sends him a messenger in the form of Archibald.
March around the city once with all your men. Do this each day for 6 days. Have 7 priests carry trumpets of ram's horns in front of the ark.
Hang on, I gotta write all these down. Where's my pen and paper?
On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times with the priests blowing the trumpets. When you hear them sound a long blast,
These are some oddly specific directions. How come all of my prayers can't be answered like this?
have all the people give a loud shout, and the walls of the city will collapse, and Jericho will be yours.
Oh, is that all? That's super simple. Now, could you repeat everything you just said? Larry then explains God's plan to the rest of the Israelites when it seems that not everyone is quite on board with this idea.
I'm sure that would work great if the walls were made out of jello.
Ooh, then we could eat them.
Fair point, but weren't you there when Moses split the sea in half? I know it's been 40 years ago, but you guys have seen miracles. I'm overthinking this. Carry on.
The Walminator 3000.
They made that out of materials found in the desert? I didn't know MacGyver was in VeggieTales.
How are we clapping?
I have no idea.
The show doesn't even have answers to its own questions. This is like Lost. Abandoned ship! Josh then tells everyone that they are going to try God's way first before firing any homemade missiles at the wall. The Israelites proceed to walk around the wall while being taunted by the French, which leads us to another catchy song.
Keep walking, but you won't knock down our wall. Keep walking, but she isn't gonna fall. It's plain to see, your brains are very small. Keep walking, we'll be knocking down our wall.
Keep walking, but you won't knock down our wall. Keep walking, but she isn't gonna fall.
Double time!
The Israelites returned to camp feeling defeated. They couldn't imagine doing this task for 6 more days. Larry tries to convince them, but...
Wait! Don't you see what you're doing?
He is so selfish. Why does Junior have to be involved with everything? Go away, Junior!
It didn't make sense when God told you to walk right through the Red Sea. But what happened? The water dried up.
That's what I said. Are Junior and I on the same page?
The Lord has given this land to us.
That voice. Why? Why? Junior's speech inspires the Israelites to do the right thing, stealing the spotlight from Larry and his position in the story as the leader. They did as they were supposed to while the French sent a ton of slushies their way, but nonetheless, just as God promised them, the wall fell down.
We're gonna march through the streets, walking hand in hand. It'll be so great, no, we don't have to wait, 'cause we're going to...
Pause! I'm confused here. What exactly did they win? More desert with crumbled bricks, or was it Jericho just a road bump to the promised land? If Jericho was just a road bump, then why didn't they just walk past around it? I'm so confused.
But did they really build a rocket in the middle of the desert and get slushies dropped on their heads?
You know VeggieTales just put that question in there to try and deter all the crazy parents who are going to send them letters asking, why would you make an episode of VeggieTales saying the Israelites hated slushies and made homemade rockets in the desert? I'm never buying another episode of VeggieTales on VHS for as long as I live.
We're over here by QWERTY to talk about what we learned today.
And so what we have learned applies to our lives today.
Bob has a terrible memory when it comes to QWERTY.
And maybe Louis doesn't need a punch in the nose. Maybe Louis needs a friend.
Agree to disagree on that one, Bob.
Hey, the time for the show? Aw, nuts.
We didn't have a lot of fun in the desert.
That was Josh and the Big Wall. Overall, a good episode, better than the last few. Junior wasn't in a starring role, the music was catchy as always, Bob gave us more amazing faces, and the humor was on point. A great episode, no doubt, but stay tuned. Next time, we review Madame Blueberry, or as you might know the episode, his cheeseburger. He loves his cheeseburger, his precious cheeseburger. He'll wait for you, oh, he'll wait for you.